everyone. Welcome to ESGI at Home. I'm Rochelle, and I am excited to be with you today. ESGI's one-on-one assessment platform is typically used by teachers in the classroom. Our mission at ESGI is to help teachers overcome the unique challenges of early childhood education, and assessing students at home is definitely a unique challenge, but ESGI is here to help. So we're excited that you're here with us today. We're going to spend about 35 minutes talking about what you can do at home. Now, if you're new to ESGI, you can get a free trial just by going to esgisoftware.com and entering in at-home teacher. So make sure that you get your account all set up so that you can use all these great resources that we're going to talk about today at home. Now, if you already are a subscriber, all these at-home features are already built in to your ESGI account, and we'll talk about those today. Now, who am I? I'm Rochelle Pokorny. I'm the Product Marketing Manager here at ESGI. And there I am with my two good friends, Elephant and Piggy. And I have been a teacher. I have been a principal. I have been with ESGI since 2006. In fact, I'm employee number 2 at this company. And I provide professional development and implementation for districts across the country. And I do love to travel. And I see a lot of people in the chat that I recognize. So hi, everybody. Thank you for joining in today. I'm excited that you're with us. But first, we thought we would do a little quiz for you because not everybody knows what ESGI stands for. So in the question box, please enter your answer. A, B, C, or D. Does ESGI stand for Excellent Stuff Greg Invented? Education software for guiding instruction, education standards generate insights, or exact strategies for gifted instructors? What do you think? Now, those people that have been with us for a while, they know that ESGI stands for Education Software for Guiding Instruction. And we're hopeful that this at-home solution will help you get the assessment data that you need and possibly help you in guiding your instruction for the rest of the school year, possibly with this distant learning. Now let's talk about the first option that we have for you. A couple of different things that we want to share about the student screen at home option is that it is teacher-led. It is a chance for you to assess your students one-on-one in real time via linked devices. So what that means is you are in charge, and we know that that is the way to get the most reliable data. So we would highly recommend, if you've used ESGI this whole year and you just need to do those end of the year assessments, you might want to consider student screen option. Now, we get some questions ahead of time in the registration. Here are some great questions that people had. One is, couldn't I just share a screen with the student? Like I already use Zoom or Skype or something like that. Couldn't I just get the student on the other end and share the screen? Absolutely, yes, you can. And if that works for you, you just do what you normally do, have the student on the other side, share your screen. They answer the question, you mark it down yes or no. However, student screen was really developed in the classroom for this purpose. The student doesn't see the yes and no buttons, and I'll show you that in a minute. So if you want the opportunity to assess and take notes and not have the student see that, you probably want to use the student screen option. Also, great question that came in. Could I set up my account and have my aide set up appointments with parents, and then we split the list in half? She takes half, I take half, and we knock it out in half the time. Yes, brilliant idea. The only thing you have to do is share your username and password, and then decide which part of the alphabet he or she is taking, and you take the rest. Then set up your appointments, do your assessments. So that is a brilliant idea. Thank you for registering with those questions, and we will now show you how to use the student screen. 3 simple steps that you can do with the student screen. Set up individual appointments with your families. Now you can do this however you want. You can call them up. You can have them join you on a Zoom call, however you would normally set up appointments with your families. Now, the families don't need any special devices necessarily. They do need something that's connected to the internet. So it can be a smartphone, it can be an iPad, it can be a computer. Have them available with you on the phone with them. You have to be able to hear the student, and the student needs to be able to see their device. Those are the two requirements. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to get a student screen link code, and you're going to give it to your families. The family enters it into a website, which is ESGISS.com, and then you're ready to go. So I'm going to show you how that looks right now. All right, here is my ESGI account. And I want to assess my students using the student screen option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be communicating with my families, have them on the phone, and get ready. Then I'm going to go to the profile, which is right up at the very top. Scroll all the way down till I see the purple box, which says Get Student Screen Code. Now, before I click on the student screen code, I want to make sure that my family has already navigated their device to ESGISS.com, and they are ready. So let me show you what the family's side is going to look like. All right, I have both screens side by side. Now, of course, you wouldn't see this because this other one over here is the family side. So what I'm going to do is navigate down here, like I said, student screen code, click on it, get the code, communicate that to my family, and the family's going to enter it over here. Now this side, the family side, is connected and waiting for a test to start. My account goes back to the testing screen, super convenient, and then it's time to test the student. So let's say this is Mary's family I have on the line. Mary's got her iPad waiting for me, and all I need to do now is start one of the tests. Now watch what happens. This is great. My side, I see the R, I see the yes and no buttons, I see the note section. Mary only sees the R on her screen. So what I'm going to do is say, Mary, what letter is this? I'm going to listen for her to answer. Then I'm going to click the yes or the no all the way through the test. Now, if I want to take notes, because she said R on this one, I can do that. Now, notice she never sees that going through the test. We do have the skip option. We do have that you can close the test at any time if she's becoming frustrated. Whatever you need to do works just the same as it would in your classroom, but this time, student doesn't see it on the screen. Now, the student does get to see their pie chart, and then you close out, and it waits for another test. And so you can do another test with your family and continue on. So we have Mary here, and then we can click on another test, okay? Super easy. And that's all you need to do. Now, if you have another family that you're calling up, you're going to get another code. So each time you go to another family, you get a new code by going to your profile and clicking on that purple button that was down here. Okay, there it is. Get a student screen code. You do that every time you do a new family, not a new test session. So you can test multiple times with one student with a test session. Make sense? All right, so back to learning more about the student screen at home option. All right, so we set up individual appointments with our families. We gave them the student screen link code. The family navigated to ESGISS.com, and we were able to use the student screen option. Again, the benefits of that, they're linked in real time. You get the data that's reliable for you, and the student doesn't see the yes, no button. So that's our student screen option. We hope that that works for you. All right, let's look at the next question, and this is, where is ESGI invented? This could be a trick question, so read it carefully. Where was ESGI invented? Was it in a garage in Menlo Park, on the beach in Hawaii, in the mind of a genius, or in a kindergarten classroom in Southern California? Let's see what your answers are. In a kindergarten classroom in Southern California. Many of you are right. That's so great. It pretty much could have been in a mind of a genius too, because it was developed by a kindergarten teacher who wanted to meet the needs of the early childhood teacher, because back in the day, you know, there were stacks of paper, and now ESGI takes your one-on-one assessment and makes it online for you. Thus, we can do at-home options. So now let's talk about another great option called the At-Home Free Parent and Caregiver Account. Now, there was a lot of confusion about this particular account, so I hope that I'm able to clear it up for you. This At-Home Parent Account is totally free to the parents. We never ask for a credit card. We're letting the parents use it through July the 3rd right now. And these accounts are totally not linked to yours. They do not affect your account if you have an ESGI account. They do not affect your data, and they're not able to see your data. So I just want to clear that up. These are totally independent accounts parents use at home. Now, why would they use it at home? Well, how about for skills review and practice? They can use assessments that you provide to them that match your curriculum. It could be skills review, things you've learned earlier in the year, or it could be things that you're going to be teaching for the rest of the year. You decide. You get to publish to the parents what they use. Now, parents could send the results to you. You could require that if you choose. However, most teachers are telling us that they wouldn't really consider that reliable data, because you really don't know how the parents are assessing the child at home. So just know that this is more of a skills review and practice account where the parent can be one-on-one with the child doing the tests that you would like them to give. You will not be notified when the parent tests. It's not linked at all to your account. Okay, that being said, you are going to set it up so that the parent can see the tests that you want them to see. We have over 1,000 assessments, actually closer, I think, to 1,400 assessments in ESGI, and we don't really want the parents just poking around and looking at all the assessments that we have in there, because really that would be a lot for them, and they might be picking things that aren't developmentally appropriate for their student. So let's make sure that the parents are doing what you want them to do. You're in control of that. So here's how you do it. 3 easy steps. First, the parents create their own account. They use At-Home Parent as a promo code, and they're able to go to esgisoftware.com, click on the trial button, and sign up. Then you create a new At-Home subject tab in your own ESGI account. You put in everything that you want to be in there. It could be skills review, as I said, or things you want them to practice for learning that's coming up. Then we copy the At-Home subject tab into your parent's account. It's a one-time copy, so make sure that you have all the assessments that you want in there before you let us know that it's time to copy. Let me show you how easy it is. I'm back at my ESGI account here. And I'm going to make a subject tab and put all the tests that I want for the parents in it. Now, you know that we have the subject tabs already preloaded for pre-reading and pre-math. And we have some of the standard tests right here. If you would like to choose which tests are skills review for your students and assessments that you want them to give, go up here to the Test Explorer. Here's where you're going to explore all the tests that we have available. When you first get there, it's going to look like this. Now, you can search in a variety of ways in this Test Explorer. One way is to look for specialty tests that we have on our Friends of ESGI list. You can look for specialty Common Core. You can look for Mississippi tests. You can look for some social emotional tests if you'd like, and you can search in that way. Another way that you can search is by looking at the stock tests that we have here per grade level. In addition, you can look for district-made tests if you're connected to a district. But my favorite way to look for things is by concept, and you can use the search for that. So let's say you're looking for a money test. Either money could be a skills review for you, or it can be something that you're teaching coming up. Now you can see this is a pretty broad topic. So I have second grade in here. I have some first grade. I have some Common Core. I have a lot of different types of money tests. So I can look by the title, or I can further filter by something over here. Let's say kindergarten money tests, and this would give me a shorter list. Let's say that I want to do counting money. I click on the name, and then I can preview the test. This just walks through the test to see if I like it. If I like it, what I possibly could do is make sure that I write down counting money as an option. If I like this test, I can write down the name of it and the author of it so that I make sure that that is the test that I want to add to my At-Home Parent tab that I'm creating, okay? Make a list of all the tests that you would like to put in that tab. You can put anything in there: math, language arts, social studies, science, anything that you think parents would want to use. We've had some teachers put quite a few tests in an At-Home tab, and that's perfectly fine. You use it to meet your needs, okay? Once you have your list available of all the tests you think you might want to put in that At-Home tab, then go ahead and click on the Organize Subjects. Down here at the bottom is a new subject. Type in At-Home. We need you to call it At-Home because this alerts our customer support department that this is the tab to copy into your parents' accounts. Once you have your At-Home tab made, then you're going to click Add a Test. Now up here, this is where you're going to use that list, or you can simply search in this way. So before we had a money subject, and we also had one that was by the author called Alive Studios. I remember that. It was called Counting Money. There it is. So I click on the box and then I add it to the subject. And there it appears in my At-Home tab. Now the neat thing about this list right here is if I wanted all these tests, I can simply click on that box and add it to the subject, and it's going to add all the tests at once. And so that's really neat too. If you had district tests, and you said, show me all my district tests, you can then copy them over all at one time, because some districts do have specialized tests that they have. And so see how many are here for my district. If I wanted to copy all of them over, I would simply click this box and click Add to the tab. Okay, so simple to get your At-Home tab made in your account. Once you have it made, you can just review it if you'd like by going back to your home screen. Look for the At-Home tab down here, and then all the tests that you have will be listed. And don't worry if it's a really long list. You can scroll and parents will be able to find all of those assessments. So At-Home tab, easy for parents to do skills review at home. So that's just another option that you have for the parent account. For more information on both of those options, you can go to this bit.ly, ESGI At-Home, and get more information on both of those options. One last thing before we get to questions. I know you have a lot of questions and I'm here to answer them, so we will do live question and answer. But I just wanted to point out that people had some concerns about parent communication during this time. And ESGI has some features that really make it easy to communicate with parents. One of them is the flashcards, as you're probably familiar with, but I'm going to show you something that might make it even easier, and the student detail report. So I'm going to go back to my account, and I'm going to show you about the flashcards, which are over here, and the student detail. If you've never used student detail, it's a really neat report. And we've heard a couple of different things, people using the student detail as kind of a report card. So you might consider doing that for end of the year assessments. So let's go back to the flashcards. Now you know that when we are clicked on a tab, these are Mary's pie charts. And if I click on the flashcards, what I'm going to see are just the ones that Mary missed on the assessments. And then I can, let's see, flashcards. Here's what I didn't do. Here's her incorrect. This is how it looks for Mary. These are the ones Mary missed. Personalized for Mary, they have her name on it and the date. But I wanted to point out this one little thing that I had clicked before, which is so neat. If I want to do a full set of flashcards, you'll notice right here it says a full set option prints out a single complete set of all test questions. When I choose that, this is every single flashcard from that uppercase letters test and all the other tests as well. So if you ever need a complete set of flashcards, it's right here in the flashcards and up here at the top, full set. Okay, now we just launched this too. If you like to save paper and you want your flashcards to be even smaller, you can put 12 on a page. And when we view the flashcards, see how they're smaller and they all fit on the page? That's brand new, you guys. That's a brand new feature we just launched. How many flashcards on a page? Because we know paper is at a premium, so you could put 6, 9, or 12 flashcards per page. So here's full set, and here's 12 per page. You can also print out all the kids' flashcards at one time. If that's a time saver, click on all students, and then you can click on flashcards. If you put incorrect only for all students up here at the top, it's going to print with a page break in between. So here's Mary's. And then page break, here's Soraya's, and then here's Joe's. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. This might be really handy if you're doing paper packets for your kids. If you're making little packets for them, you can just do it as a batch, and then you can put them in their little packets to send home. You can also download it as a PDF and send it home via email if you choose. So that's the flashcards. I just wanted you to know about the full set, the fact that we just put more flashcards on a page, and that you can print a batch of flashcards all at one time if you want. And the second thing I promised you was the student detail report. So this one, I'm going to click Mary again and the student detail. I really like this report because it puts everything on one page. So it's really neat that we have all these different types of data. And like I said, people are using this sort of like a report card. So if you wanted to send this home to parents to show all the data that you've collected for the year, this might be a really good way to do it. Student detail report. It's got every marking period on here. It's got pie chart from the last time tested. It's got a history graph showing the progress for that particular student in that particular area. So this is the student detail. Again, you can download it. You can attach it to an email. And I just had a principal talk about how he was going to do a batch of all of these. Like he was going to pick all students. He was going to run these out and mail them to the parents, which I think is great. Huge time saver for the teachers, right? So he was going to just print all these out for his entire school. That's awesome. All right, that is, let's see, let's go back and see. Oh, let's go back. There we go. Time for questions. All right, I was excited to see what kind of questions that you had. So let me jump over here where I can actually see some of the questions that we might have gotten. And I think I closed that part. One moment, please. Let me go over here and find it for you. All right, my team was working behind the scenes. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, and they're going to be telling me some of the questions that you had. I'm so excited that you joined us. Let's see. Ooh, here's a good one. Can we see the data from the at-home test? No, you cannot. They're totally separate, not linked. However, there are parent instructions on how they can run the parent letter and then email it to you. So that is an option if you want your parents doing that. Our website has all the details for parents in language that everybody would understand, saying this is how you can do that. So if you want to, if you trust the data that the parents are collecting and you want to then put them in your ESGI account, you can do that. And that's a great question that you brought up, because I need to show you all in our 3 on Thursdays, which is coming up this week, how to backdate data, okay? So if you have parents at home doing the data and then they send it to you, there might be a lag of time. If you want to backdate those test sessions in your account so that you can count them, I will show you how. So tune in. We have 3 on Thursdays. We're going to broadcast it live at 9 o'clock Pacific time. However, of course, you can always catch it later on the replay. But 3 on Thursdays is something brand new. We're just going to take your questions and we're going to make sure that we address those. So we do that every Thursday now, brand new. All right. Will we have access to data from the parent accounts? No, totally separate. I would really just use that as skills review and practice, and then you do the remote assessment either with the student screen or via some kind of video chat, okay? Could you use the parent conference feature to schedule meetings for student share? Now you're thinking, that is so good. You can do that. If you've never checked out the parent conferencer, that is a great feature for scheduling parent conferences, and then it prints out a reminder of what time. That's excellent. You know, you guys are so smart. I'm writing this stuff down. These are just perfect 3 on Thursday topics to cover. All right, parent conferencer. Customized tests for each student, or does it need to be the same for the whole class? Now, this is interesting. It depends on which one you're using. If it's the parent account, it needs to be the same test. Now, if you're doing it remotely, you can make a test for that particular student and then share it. There's instructions on our support site about making your own tests, and you can even copy tests, you guys. So if you find a test that sort of meets your needs, but you need to make some differentiated instruction for a particular student, you can make a copy of that test so you don't have to start from scratch, and then you can edit it for that student. So good thinking. I really like that. Can you remake the at-home tab so they can see it again? Yeah, the answer is yes. You need to communicate with our customer support. It might be at-home number 2, like you make a revised tab. You go through the same process, but you call it at-home number 2, so that the parent would know these are new tests that I'm doing. But you would have to go through the same process of having the customer support push that out to all your parents. Okay, so you would need that list of the parent accounts again. All right, we will send out this recording. That was a question too. And then all the tests that are at the district level, my advice is to make a copy of those tests and push it out to the parents. That would be the best way. If you're using district tests, we have a copy feature, as I mentioned. Just make a copy of that and send it out to the parents. Excellent. All right. 3 on Thursdays is going to be on the All-Star group on Facebook. Now, let me tell you about the All-Star group. If you are an ESGI trial or paid user, you can request access to our exclusive group called the All-Star Teacher Group on Facebook. So look for ESGI All-Star Teacher. Go in there right now, ask to join, and then you'll see it, 3 on Thursdays. You can remake the at-home tab, but like I said, you would have to do number 2. So you'd have to do the process again. If you change the at-home tab in your account, it does not automatically link to the parent's account. Our customer support team would have to republish it to them. And I would call it like at-home number 2 or at-home number 3, depending on which version you're on. All right, looks like my team is giving me the last questions. All right, you can reach us at ESGI_marketing@esgisoftware.com. That email address is used for many of the emails that you receive from us. So if you just reply to one of our emails, we would get that, and you can ask more questions that way. And we will definitely be sending out the recording of this so you can share it with your friends if you choose. I'm so happy that you joined us today. Thank you so much for your interest in ESGI at Home. And during this difficult time, we really hope that ESGI is a help to you. Take care and have a good night.